Your brain on no sleep. So we've established that the search is critical, but to understand the solution, you need to truly grasp the problem. And that problem is happening right here, inside your skull. This is not just about feeling groggy. We're talking about a fundamental breakdown of your brain's core operating system. After just one night of no sleep, your amygdala, the part of your brain that processes fear and emotion, goes into overdrive. It becomes hyperreactive. Meanwhile, your prefrontal cortex, the CEO of your brain responsible for rational thought and impulse control, effectively goes offline. It's like your emotional gas pedal is slammed to the floor while your logical brakes have completely failed. That's why everything feels more intense, more frustrating. You're not just in a mood. Your brain is literally operating without its executive command center. And the long-term consequences are even more terrifying. Because sleep is when your brain takes out the trash. During deep sleep, your glymphatic system kicks into high gear, flushing out toxic byproducts that build up between your cells throughout the day. One of those toxins is beta amyloid, the very protein that forms the plaques associated with Alzheimer's disease. When you chronically shortchange your sleep, that garbage piles up. You are literally preventing your brain from performing its most essential maintenance. Think about that. You would not skip changing the oil in your car for years and expect the engine to run smoothly. Yet, that's exactly what you're doing to the most complex organ in your body. Your cognitive function does not just dip, it plummets. Memory consolidation fails. Your ability to learn new information drops dramatically because sleep is when short-term memories get transferred to long-term storage. It's not that you cannot remember where you put your keys. It's that the memory of you putting them down was never properly saved in the first place. The file is corrupted, gone. And let's talk about reaction time. Studies show that after 18 hours awake, your cognitive impairment is similar to having a blood alcohol content of 0.05%. After 24 hours, you're hitting 0.10%, legally drunk in most places. You would never get behind the wheel after several drinks, but you do it all the time when you're exhausted, convinced you're fine. Your brain is lying to you. This is the truth. The search for a solution is not about getting a slightly better night's rest. It's about preventing a neurological crisis. It's about saving your mind, beyond the pill aisle. So we've established that the search is critical, but to understand the solution, you need to truly grasp the problem. And that problem is HAP. But that desperation, that feeling of being willing to try anything, is exactly where they want you. Because natural has become the most powerful and most misleading marketing term on the planet. Let's get one thing absolutely straight right now. Natural does not automatically mean safe. It does not automatically mean effective. And it certainly does not mean unregulated. It's a label that's been stripped of all meaning, slapped on a bottle to make you feel good about buying it. Think about it. Hemlock is natural. Arsenic is natural. That does not mean you should be putting them in your body. The word itself is a psychological trick, a warm blanket that disarms your critical thinking. It makes you feel like you're making a pure, simple choice, far removed from the cold, clinical world of pharmaceuticals. But here's the uncomfortable truth the wellness industry does not want you to hear. That entire aisle of sleep supplements, it's just the other side of the same coin. It's still a product. It's still packaged. It's still sold to you with a promise. And someone is still getting very, very rich. This is not about abandoning hope. It's about shifting your perspective entirely. True natural sleep is not found in a bottle. It's not a single ingredient you can isolate and cap. It's a state, a rhythm, a biological process that we're trying to support, not replace with a magic bullet. When we talk about real natural remedies, we're talking about fundamentals. We're talking about the building blocks your body actually uses to wind down, to produce melatonin, to signal that it's safe to rest. It's the difference between slapping a bandage on a symptom and actually nourishing the system so it can heal itself. So before we dive into any specific herb or vitamin, you need this mindset shift. Otherwise, you'll just be chasing the same quick fix, just with a prettier, greener label. You'll be treating the natural aisle like a pharmacy, grabbing for whatever bottle has the most compelling promise. And that approach is doomed to fail. It leads to disappointment, wasted money, and a deeper feeling that nothing will ever work for you. It makes you feel broken. And you are not broken. Your process is. Your body already knows how to sleep. Our modern world has just forgotten how to let it. The real work is not in finding a miracle pill. It's in removing the barriers we've built against our own biology. It's about creating the conditions for sleep to occur naturally on its own. That is the core truth. This is the foundation. Everything else we talk about, the herbs, the foods, the rituals, only works if you understand this first. They are tools to support your system, not substitutes for it. Now let's talk about what those tools actually are. The magnesium mirage. So you're standing in the supplement aisle, surrounded by promises, and one bottle seems to shine brighter than the rest. Magnesium. It's the undisputed heavyweight champion of the natural sleep world, the mineral that gets all the headlines. But here's where we have to get brutally honest. The hype has created a mirage, a shimmering, seductive promise that if you just take this one pill, perfect sleep is yours. And for some of you, that might be true. But for many, it's a desert of disappointment. Let's separate the robust science from the pervasive hope. Magnesium's primary job is to calm your nervous system. It's a literal key that fits into the GABA receptors in your brain, the same receptors targeted by prescription sleep aids and anti-anxiety meds. It tells your entire system, stand down. The threat is over. You are safe. This is not just theory. Solid studies show it can help you fall asleep faster and improve sleep quality. But, and this is the critical but, it's not a magic bullet for everyone. Its power is almost entirely dependent on one thing: your personal deficiency status. Think of it like this. If your body's magnesium tank is running on empty, pouring some in is going to feel like a miracle. You're finally giving your body a fundamental building block it's been desperately screaming for. The relief is real and profound. But if your levels are already adequate, tossing back extra magnesium is like trying to fill a glass that's already full. It just overflows. You might get some, digestive side effects, but you will not get that magical sleep transformation you were sold. That's the mirage. So who does it actually help? If you live on processed food, drink coffee like it's your job, or are constantly stressed, your magnesium levels are likely getting drained. Your body is burning through its reserves just to keep you functional. You are the prime candidate, but the form matters immensely. That cheap oxide you grabbed, your body absorbs maybe 4% of it. It's practically a laxative. For sleep, you want the forms your brain can actually use: glycinate, bisglycinate, or threonate. These are the forms shown to cross the blood-brain barrier and directly support calm. The truth is, magnesium is not a universal sleep remedy. It's a targeted deficiency correction. It's not about taking more, it's about having enough. For some of you, this is the missing piece. For others, it's a costly detour. The real miracle is not in the pill, it's in knowing whether you actually need it. Valerian root's ancient secret. So magnesium is a modern darling. But what if the real secret is an ancient, gnarly-looking root that smells like? Well, let's just say it's an acquired scent. This is not some new age trend. Valerian root has been a sleep remedy for over 1,000 years, prescribed for everything from insomnia to anxiety by ancient Greek and Roman physicians. But here's where it gets controversial. Modern science looks at the clinical trials and throws its hands up. Some studies show it knocks people out faster and improves sleep quality. Others show it's no better than a placebo. The evidence is a complete mess. This inconsistency has made it the black sheep of the sleep aid world. Doctors dismiss it. Skeptics point and laugh. And you're left wondering who to believe. But what if everyone is missing the point? The truth is, they're testing it wrong. They're treating it like a pharmaceutical, a single-ingredient bullet aimed at one specific sleep receptor. But valerian root does not work like that. It's not a sledgehammer. It's a master key. Its power is not in one magic molecule. It's in a symphony of over 150 different compounds: valerianic acid, isovaleric acid, a whole orchestra of antioxidants. They work together on your GABA system, the same system targeted by prescription drugs like Xanax or Valium. But here's the crucial difference. Pharmaceuticals are like a burglar picking the GABA lock, forcing it open. It works, but it's clumsy, addictive, and the side effects are brutal. Valerian is different. It's like the locksmith who gently coaxes the mechanism. It does not force sedation. It encourages your brain's own natural calming signals. This is why the one-size-fits-all clinical trial fails. It's not about a standard dose for everyone. Its effect is subtle, cumulative, and deeply personal. It's not a sleeping pill. It's an anti-anxiety agent that results in sleep. It quiets the mental chatter, the relentless loop of worry that keeps you staring at the ceiling. It does not shut your brain down. It turns the volume down on the panic channel. For the right person, someone whose insomnia is driven by a racing mind, this is the exact mechanism they need. But this subtlety is also its curse. If you take it expecting to be punched into unconsciousness in 20 minutes, you'll be disappointed. It requires patience. It builds in your system over days, even weeks. You have to meet it halfway. And that smell? That funky, old sock aroma is the isovaleric acid. It's the proof you're getting the real, potent stuff. If your valerian supplement does not have that distinct odor, it's probably been overprocessed and stripped of its power. The stink is the signal. So the ancient secret is not a hidden chemical. It's a misunderstood philosophy. Valerian does not conquer your biology. It negotiates with it. And for centuries, that's exactly what people needed to finally find rest. Lavender's soothing scent. So we've got this ancient, pungent root. But what if the real key to unlocking sleep is not something you ingest at all? What if it's something you simply breathe in? Your nose is a direct superhighway to your brain's emotional control center. It bypasses all the usual traffic. And lavender oil does not just smell nice. It contains specific compounds like linalool that physically calm your nervous system. This is not hippie nonsense. This is neuroscience. When you inhale lavender, those molecules bind to receptors and actually slow down your heart rate. It tells your amygdala, that's your brain's panic button, to stand down. The threat level is officially lowered. But here's where everyone gets it wrong. They dab a drop on their pillow and wonder why they're still staring at the ceiling. You're using a pebble when you need a boulder. The dose and the delivery are everything. A diffuser is your best weapon. It atomizes the oil into microparticles, creating a cloud of calm that actually has a chance to work. You need to start this ritual at least 45 minutes before you even think about getting into bed. This is not an on switch. It's a gradual dimmer. Your bedroom should smell like a Provençal field, not a faint hint of maybe flower. That intensity is what signals safety to your primal brain. And for the love of sleep, quality matters. That cheap gas station vial is probably just perfume. You need pure, therapeutic-grade oil. Your breath is the conductor. Inhale slowly for 4 counts. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. You're not just smelling it. You're actively dosing your nervous system. This is the ultimate 1-2 punch, a powerful botanical acting on a proven biological pathway, activated by your own breath. It's not magic. It's medicine you do not have to swallow. Ritual over remedy. And that's the beautiful thing about lavender. It's a signal. It's not a knockout pill. It's your brain's cue that it's time to power down. And that cue is the entire game. Because here's the raw truth no one wants to hear. You can take all the valerian and magnesium in the world, but if you're scrolling through doom-filled news feeds until your head hits the pillow, you're fighting a losing battle. Your most powerful supplement is not in a bottle. It's a practice. Your brain does not just need chemicals. It needs consistency. It craves a predictable pattern that tells the primal part of your nervous system, hey, we are safe. The hunt is over. The fire is lit. It is time to rest. That is what a ritual does. It builds a bridge from the chaos of your day to the calm your body requires for deep, restorative sleep. It's the non-negotiable foundation that makes any remedy actually work. Think of it like this. A supplement is a single key. A ritual is you learning the entire lock. It's you understanding the mechanism so well that you can get in every single time, with or without that one specific tool. So let's build that blueprint. Your wind-down ritual shouldn't be a chore. It should be a sanctuary, a 45-minute buffer zone between the demands of the world and the peace of your bed. This is your permission slip to do less. Start with the lights. Bright, blue-heavy light is a scream of daytime. To your brain, dim them an hour before bed. Or even better, use lamps with warm, amber bulbs. This is not just mood lighting, it's biological programming. Next, drop your temperature. Your body needs to cool down about 2 degrees to initiate sleep. A cool shower, turning down the thermostat. These are not luxuries. They are direct commands to your internal thermostat that sleep is coming. Then, create soundscape. Not the erratic, unpredictable noise of a TV drama, but the steady, rhythmic hum of a fan, a white noise machine, or a gentle, boring podcast. Drown out the spikes of sound that keep your brain on high alert. This is where you can incorporate your lavender spray or your cup of tea, not as magic bullets, but as anchors within your ritual. The smell becomes part of the routine. The warm mug in your hands becomes a tactile signal. It's the repetition that gives it power. And for the love of sleep, put your phone to bed in another room. Not on your nightstand, not face down, in another room. This single act is the most potent sleep aid on the planet because it removes the ultimate source of anxiety and artificial light. This ritual is not about perfection. It's about repetition. Some nights you'll only manage 10 minutes. That's fine. What matters is the intent, the deliberate turn away from stimulation and toward stillness. You are quite literally practicing how to shut down. Night after night, this sequence tells your body a story that ends with deep, uninterrupted sleep. The supplements might be supporting characters, but the ritual is the author. It's time to pick up the pen and write a better ending to your day. Your phone is the enemy, and that cue, that powerful signal to your brain, is exactly what your phone is designed to destroy. We just talked about creating a calming ritual, a sacred space for your mind to unwind. But the moment you pick up that device, you're not just adding stimulation, you're actively dismantling everything you just built. This is not about willpower, it's biology. The blue light from your screen is a direct, scientific assault on your sleep. It targets the very hormone designed to make you drowsy, melatonin. Your brain sees that specific wavelength of light, and it gets a very clear, very ancient message. The sun is up. It is time to be awake. So it slams the brakes on melatonin production. Hard. You're literally telling your primal wiring that it's morning, right in the middle of the night. And the damage goes so much deeper than just feeling not tired. This light pollution shreds your sleep architecture. It sabotages your deep, restorative sleep, the kind that repairs your body and solidifies memories. You might be unconscious for 8 hours, but your brain never gets the quality rest it desperately needs. You wake up feeling hollow, drained, like you ran a marathon in your sleep, and you cannot figure out why. But here's the truly terrifying part. It's not just the light, it's the content, the endless scroll, the work email, the stressful news alert. That anxiety, that mental charge, is a second front in this war on your rest. Your brain cannot possibly wind down when you're feeding it a crisis right before bed. So what's the solution? You do not have to throw your phone out the window, but you do need to set brutal, non-negotiable boundaries. Your first weapon is time. Give yourself a digital curfew. 1 hour before bed, that's it. The phone goes into another room. Not on the nightstand. Not face down. Another room. If you use it as an alarm, buy a cheap alarm clock. That $10 investment will give you back hundreds of hours of quality sleep. Next, enable night mode or a blue light filter. But do it hours before bed, not just as you're getting under the covers. It helps, but it's not a magic shield. And silence those notifications. Every ping, every buzz, is a tiny jolt of cortisol. It's a micro-stressor that pulls your brain back to alertness. Create a charging station that is not your bedroom. Make it inconvenient to grab. Out of sight, out of mind is a real, powerful thing. This feels extreme because we're addicted. We've normalized this constant connection. But your sleep is not normal. Your exhaustion is not normal. Reclaim that last hour of your day. Read a physical book. Listen to calm music. Talk to your partner. Stare at the ceiling and just breathe. Protect that space. Because that space is where real restoration happens. It's where you actually power down. Your phone is the enemy of sleep. But you get to decide who wins this war. The caffeine deception. And while you're swiping that phone away and trying to build a calming ritual, you might be completely undoing all that progress with something you drank hours ago. We've all heard the advice. Don't drink coffee after 2 p.m. It's sleep hygiene 101. But what if that rule is a complete lie? Here's the terrifying part of the caffeine deception. It's not about when you feel it. It's about when your brain still has it. Caffeine has a half-life of about 5 to 6 hours. That means if you have a coffee at 3 p.m., by 9 p.m., only half of that caffeine has left your system. The other half is still very much active. But wait, it gets worse. The quarter life is up to 12 hours. You will not necessarily feel jittery. You will not be wide awake. That's the deception. The impact is far more insidious. This residual caffeine reduces your deep sleep, the most restorative, physically healing stage. It fragments your sleep, causing more micro-awakenings you do not even remember. You might technically be unconscious, but your brain is not getting the quality rest it desperately needs to repair itself. You wake up feeling drained, foggy, and you reach for more coffee. And the cycle continues. You're borrowing energy from tomorrow and paying it back with terrible sleep tonight. It's a debt you can never quite settle. This is not about quitting coffee. This is about timing. That 2 p.m. cutoff is not a suggestion. It's a hard deadline for your nervous system. And remember, it's not just coffee. It's hidden in dark chocolate, some teas, soda, and even certain pain relievers. You have to become a detective for your own sleep. So if you're doing everything else right, the lavender, the dark room, no phone, but still waking up exhausted, look to the afternoon. Food is a sleep switch. So you've ditched the late-night screen and cut off the caffeine, but you're still staring at the ceiling. What you put on your plate might be the final, silent saboteur of your sleep. Or it could be the most powerful off switch you've never used. Your body runs on a chemical clock, and the food you eat directly writes its schedule. Eat the wrong thing too late, and you're basically sending your system an all-hands-on-deck alert when it should be powering down. That heavy, greasy meal at 9 p.m.? It forces your digestive system into overtime, generating heat and metabolic chaos when your core temperature should be dropping for sleep. It's like revving a car engine in your driveway all night and then wondering why you cannot relax inside. But the flip side is incredible. Certain foods contain natural, sleep-inducing compounds that actively calm your nervous system. They're not magic pills. They're biological signals, telling your brain it's safe to shut down. Timing is everything. Your last big meal should be at least 3 hours before bed. This gives your body a fighting chance to finish the heavy lifting of digestion so it can focus on repair and rest. But a small, strategic snack about 45 minutes before you hit the pillow? That's your secret weapon. Think of it as sending a direct memo to your brain's sleep center. Foods rich in tryptophan, like a handful of almonds or a slice of turkey, are your building blocks. Your body converts tryptophan into serotonin, and then into the famous sleep hormone, melatonin. But you need a little carbohydrate helper to get it across the blood-brain barrier efficiently. That's why complex carbs like a small banana or a bit of oatmeal are the perfect partner. They're the key that unlocks the door, letting the sleep signals flood in. And do not forget magnesium, the relaxation mineral. It's nature's chill pill, found in leafy greens, nuts, and seeds, directly helping your muscles and mind unwind. This is not about a massive meal. It's about a tiny, targeted nutritional nudge. A small bowl of cherries, which are a natural source of melatonin. Or a cup of chamomile tea with a teaspoon of honey. You are not a passive victim of your sleep. You are the conductor of your own chemistry. Your kitchen holds the switches. Now you know how to flip them, when nature isn't enough. So you've optimized your diet, built the perfect ritual, and your room smells like a lavender field. But you're still wide awake at 3 a.m., your heart pounding for no reason. And that right there is the most important moment. The moment you have to ask yourself a terrifying but crucial question. What if this is not about chamomile or magnesium? What if this is something bigger? Because here's the brutal truth no one wants to say out loud. Natural remedies are incredible tools, but they are not cures for medical conditions. They're band-aids, and sometimes you need a surgeon, not a band-aid. If you've been diligently trying everything right and sleep still feels like a distant memory, your body is not failing you. It's screaming at you. It's sending up a flare that something is fundamentally wrong on a physiological level. And you must not, ignore these red flags. Waking up gasping for air is not a sign you need more valerian root. It's a classic symptom of sleep apnea, a condition where you literally stop breathing, starving your brain and heart of oxygen dozens of times a night. That creepy crawly, unbearable urge to move your legs at night, that's not just restlessness. It could be restless leg syndrome, a real neurological disorder that sabotages your ability to ever fall asleep. And lying in bed for hours with a mind that will not shut off, cycling through anxiety and dread, that could be a primary insomnia disorder or a major sign of an underlying anxiety or depressive condition that needs to be treated at its source. These are not lifestyle problems. They are medical diagnoses. And treating a medical disorder with a natural supplement is like trying to put out a house fire with a water pistol. You will lose. Every single time. Pushing through the fatigue, self-medicating with more supplements, thinking you just have not found the right magic herb yet. That's a dangerous game. You're not being resilient. You're ignoring a fire alarm. This is not about willpower. It's about wiring. It's about chemistry. It's about your health. So if you hear nothing else I say in this entire video, hear this. Your journey to real sleep does not end with a supplement bottle. It might just begin in a doctor's office. A sleep specialist can run tests. They can look inside your brain waves. They can track your breathing. They can give you a real, accurate diagnosis instead of forcing you to play a guessing game with your health. Getting that help is not admitting defeat. It's the ultimate act of self-advocacy. It's you finally deciding that you deserve answers, not just another placebo. Because you cannot biohack your way out of a diagnosed disorder. You cannot essential oil your way through a neurological condition. That's not how this works. Your mission now is to become a detective of your own body. Track your symptoms. Write them down. That pounding heart, the gasping, the unbearable restlessness. That's your evidence. Take it to a professional and demand answers. This is the line. This is where being natural stops and being smart begins. Your health is too important to leave to chance. Crafting your personal sleep protocol. So you've tried the individual pieces, but the puzzle still is not complete. That's because the real magic is not in any single remedy. It's in the system you build. This is not about finding a magic bullet. It's about becoming a sleep scientist of your own life. Your personal lab, your #1 test subject. And that starts right here, right now, with a blank page and a promise to yourself. We're building a protocol that's as unique as your fingerprint. Forget rigid rules. This is about discovery. Your first experiment is simple. Track for 3 nights. No changes. Just document. When you go to bed, what you ate, how you felt. You're gathering your baseline data, your personal truth. Night 4, you introduce one single change. Maybe it's moving your dinner time by 30 minutes. Or adding 5 minutes of deep breathing. 1. Single. Variable. This is the most critical step. If you change 3 things at once and you sleep better, you have no idea what actually worked. And if you crash, you have no idea what caused it. Isolate to illuminate. You are looking for the 1% shifts. The tiny levers that, when pulled, create a cascade of calm through your nervous system. They're different for everyone. Your job is to find yours. Maybe your lever is a cup of tart cherry juice at 4 p.m. Maybe it's putting on socks before bed. It sounds silly until it's the thing that finally lets you drift off. Your protocol lives in a notebook, not carved in stone. It breathes. It adapts. A bad night is not a failure. It's more data. It's telling you what to adjust for tomorrow night's experiment. This is how you take back control. You stop being a victim of your restless mind and become the architect of your own rest. It's empowering. It's sustainable. Build your ritual like you're layering armor against the chaos of the day. Each small, consistent practice is another plate of steel, until nothing can pierce your calm. Start with your non-negotiables. The foundation. For most, that's a dark, cool room and a consistent wake-up time, even on weekends. This is your bedrock. Everything else builds on this. Then, add your first layer of defense. Your wind-down ritual. 60 minutes of no screens, soft light, and maybe some light stretching. This signals the shift from doing to being. Next, your physiological layer. This is where you might incorporate the dietary tweaks we discussed, the timing of your last meal, that magnesium-rich snack. You're giving your body the raw materials to produce sleep. Finally, your mental layer. The 5-minute brain dump. Writing down every nagging thought, every to-do, and literally closing the book on them until tomorrow. It's permission to let go. This is your personalized toolkit. No one else's protocol will look exactly like this. Yours is built on your data, your discoveries, your life. That's why it will finally work. You will not get it perfect on night 1 or night 5. This is a lifelong practice of tuning in and listening closely. The goal is progress, not perfection. So open that notebook. Get curious. What one tiny thing will you test tonight?